Have you ever been in a negotiation where it just feels stuck? Like you have to give up something you want just to get a deal done? Well, today we're going to talk about a really powerful strategy that can help you get more of what you want, often without compromising at all. It's all about looking past what people say they want and figuring out what they really need. We've all done it, right? You and someone else are at an impasse. You want one thing, they want the same thing. So what's the go-to solution? Just split it down the middle. Compromise. It feels fair, it feels easy, but what if I told you that in many cases, splitting the difference is actually the worst possible outcome? That there's a way for everyone to walk away with everything they truly wanted. To get our heads around this, let's start with a really simple, classic story. The setup is as basic as it gets. You've got two sisters, and there's only one orange left. And right away, we have a problem. Both sisters dig in. They're locked into their positions. I want the orange. No, I want the orange. It feels like a zero-sum game, doesn't it? For one sister to get more, the other has to get less. So after some back and forth, they do this seemingly logical thing. They grab a knife, slice that orange right in half, and each sister walks away with her 50%. Problem solved, right? I mean, on the surface, it looks like a perfectly fair deal. They both got half. But here's the twist. What if they both could have had 100% of what they actually needed from that orange? Let's follow them and see what happens next. The first sister, she takes her half of the orange, marches over to the kitchen, and squeezes every last drop of juice out of it for a drink. And once she's got all the juice, what does she do with the peel? It goes straight into the trash. She has no use for it. It's just waste to her. Okay, now let's check in on the second sister. She takes her half, but she's not interested in juice at all. She carefully grates the peel to get zest for a beautiful cake she's baking. And what happens to that juicy, pulpy inside of her half? Yep, you guessed it. She throws it away. Now, stop and think about that for a second. Both sisters literally threw away the very thing the other one desperately needed. That's a huge missed opportunity. And that, right there, is the secret. The entire problem wasn't the orange. The problem was that they argued about what they wanted, but they never once talked about why they wanted it. They got stuck on their positions and totally ignored their true interests. And that little distinction changes absolutely everything. So let's make this crystal clear. A position is that surface-level demand. It's the I want the orange. But an interest is the real motivation hiding underneath. It's the I need the juice or I need the peel. It's the why behind the what. You know, when we lay it out like this, the solution becomes so obvious it's almost funny. They both had the exact same position, give me the orange, but their interests, they weren't in conflict at all. One sister could have had all the juice from the whole orange, and the other could have had all the peel from the whole orange. A 100% win for both of them, if only they'd asked that one simple question, why? So, this is the exciting part. How do we take this simple story and actually apply it in our own lives, in our jobs, in our real negotiations? Well, it all boils down to three key strategic goals that can turn a conflict into a collaboration. The process is actually pretty straightforward. First, you create value. Then, you claim that value. And maybe most importantly, you cultivate the relationship throughout the entire process. Let's break each of those down. Okay, create value. This is a huge mental shift. Most of us go into a negotiation thinking about a fixed pie, and our only goal is to get the biggest slice. Creating value means you stop focusing on slicing the pie and you start working together to make the whole pie bigger for everyone. You do that by asking those deeper why questions to uncover all the hidden opportunities. Now, once you've made that bigger pie, it's time to claim the value. And this isn't about one person winning and the other losing. Not anymore. It's about distributing that newly created value in a way that makes sense. The sister who needs juice gets all the juice. The sister who needs peel gets all the peel. Everyone gets the part of the pie that truly matters to them. It's a genuine win-win. And that leads us to the third piece of the puzzle, cultivating their relationship. This is so critical. When you approach a negotiation this way, not as a fight, but as a shared problem to solve, you build trust. You're showing the other person you care about their success too. And that trust is an asset that will pay off again and again in the future. Okay, the orange story is nice, but how does this stuff actually play out in the real world? Let's put this strategy to work in a super common workplace scenario. So imagine two department heads. They're both fighting for the same limited pool of money from the budget. One says, I absolutely need new software licenses. The other says, no, I absolutely need that money for team training. Their positions are in a head-to-head conflict. If they just split the budget, neither department gets what it really needs to succeed. But what happens when they stop arguing about what they want and start talking about why and when they need it? A brilliant solution appears. Turns out Department 1 needs those software licenses this quarter. It's urgent. But Department 2's training isn't scheduled until next quarter. By simply looking at the timeline, they can sequence the spending. Both departments get 100% of the funding they need. They didn't split the pie, they just got creative about how to serve it. So what's the big takeaway here? It's simple, really. Stop negotiating over positions. Start exploring interests. Get into the habit of asking, hey, help me understand, what do you really need this for? When you do that, you'll find that value isn't fixed. It expands when people communicate. And the best negotiators, the best leaders, they don't just solve the problem, they protect the relationship at the same time. And that's what I want to leave you with. Take a second to think about your work, your family, your life. What is the orange that you're currently just splitting down the middle out of habit? And what amazing things might happen if, next time, you paused and just asked why?